From the Tribune News Network, this is Newsbreak. I'm Krishna Russell. Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham said a consistent election date is necessary to ensure people are properly advised and prepared for a general election. He was asked outside the House of Assembly yesterday about Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis's decision to call an early election. Mr. Ingraham said, quote, "I had one snap election. I called an election in March of 1997, which was about 5 months before the end of my term. And thereafter, I determined that we ought to have moved toward a fixed election date as far as possible, and I therefore held election in 2002 in May. Perry Christie came along and held it in May 2007. I came back, and I held it in May 2012. Perry Christie came back, he held it in May 2017. I thought the public ought to have a good idea as to when elections are gonna be held. We gave everybody an opportunity to register to vote." Like Mr. Ingraham, former Prime Minister Perry Christie also spoke to reporters after viewing the body of former Governor General and Deputy Prime Minister Arthur Hanna, whom he called the greatest loss in Bahamian public life since the death of Sir Lyndon Pindling. Mr. Christie said he is concerned about how vitriolic politics has become. He said he was surprised Dr. Minnis called an early election. National Security Minister Marvin Dames, who has responsibility for elections, said the competent authority will have to say how and whether people in quarantine can vote in the upcoming general election. On Monday, Acting Parliamentary Commissioner Lovato Duncanson said the Parliamentary Elections Act allows people registered to vote as a special voter in the advanced poll under certain circumstances, including illness or infirmity. Such people would have to write the Parliamentary Commissioner for a special voter certificate. Mr. Duncanson nonetheless did not specify how people in quarantine will be able to avail themselves of this option. The advanced poll is on September 9th, 7 days before Election Day. It is conceivable people could be in quarantine during both events. Critics have said this is a bad time to hold a general election, with healthcare resources depleted and COVID-19 cases surging. Works Minister Desmond Bannister has said his ministry continues to monitor the development of unregulated shanty towns across the country and is ready to act as soon as an opportunity presents itself. In the meantime, Mr. Bannister said officials will abide by the law until the court has made its final ruling on a judicial review centered on shantytown demolition. The government was banned from evicting shantytown residents and demolishing homes in 2018 after a Supreme Court granted an injunction protecting shantytowns in New Providence as well as Abaco. After Hurricane Dorian hit Abaco in 2019, the government sought to have the 2018 injunction varied to exclude Abaco shantytowns and their residents, insisting they no longer needed to be protected as the communities were virtually wiped out by that storm. Members of the Bahamas Constitution Party, Bahamas Democratic Movement, and some independent candidates have formed a coalition to contest the next general election. The new group is called the United Coalition. Independent House Speaker Halson Mutri is advising the group. Coalition member Ali McIntosh told the Tribune yesterday that they are inviting other third parties to join them in an effort to be a viable opponent to the major political parties, the Free National Movement and the Progressive Liberal Party. She explained they started with all the parties at the table, but some left the talks. As for what the public can expect during the election campaign, Ms. McIntosh said powerful, charismatic, exciting, experienced, and mature individuals. Your complete news and information source, this is the Tribune News Network. In international news, military troops must immediately begin to get the COVID-19 vaccine, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said in a memo today, ordering service leaders to impose ambitious timelines for implementation. More than 800,000 service members have yet to get their shots, according to Pentagon data. And now that the Pfizer vaccine has received full approval from the Food and Drug Administration, the Defense Department is adding it to the list of required shots troops must get as part of their military service. The international scientists dispatched to China by the World Health Organization to find out where the coronavirus came from said today the search has stalled and warned that the window of opportunity for solving the mystery is closing fast. Meanwhile, a U.S. intelligence review ordered up by President Joe Biden proved inconclusive about the virus's origin, including whether it jumped from an animal to a human or escaped from a Chinese lab, the Washington Post reported today. In a commentary published by the journal Nature, the WHO recruited experts said the origins investigation is at a critical juncture, requiring urgent collaboration, but has instead come to a standstill. The Tribune's AccuWeather update, a service of Bahamas Power and Light Company. Unsettled weather is being generated by a surface trough supported by an upper-level low moving westward across the Bahama Islands. Residents should be alert for flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas. Mariners should remain vigilant for possible waterspout and funnel cloud activity in heavy showers and thunderstorms. Beachgoers and swimmers should exercise caution for possible rip currents along north and easterly beaches. In the northwest and central Bahamas, it'll be cloudy to overcast, warm and windy, with scattered showers and thunderstorms heavy at times through tonight. Small craft advisory is in effect. Winds northeast to east at 15 to 25 knots, gusting in showers and thunderstorms, falling 15 to 20 knots tonight. Seas 5 to 8 feet, higher in gusts, falling 4 to 6 feet tonight. In the southeast Bahamas, it'll be partly cloudy, hot and breezy, with isolated showers or thunderstorms through tonight. Small craft should exercise caution. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. We'll have a daytime high temperature of 88 degrees and an overnight low temperature of 72. The sun will set this afternoon at 7:33 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:48. That's Newsbreak. Details of the day's top stories in the Tribune newspaper, now on the streets. Or stay up to date online at Tribune242.com.